And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Look who's in town today.
Good morning.
I'm telling you.
Beautiful morning. A little moisture falling out there.
What'd your wife do? Where'd she get that shirt?
I think she got this at Duluth.
Man, I'm telling you, that's a good-looking shirt.
Well, thank you. I need all the help I can get.
They make good socks and several other things, don't they?
Yes, sir. There's good products. Good products.
Yeah, I got a couple socks. Who can you not stand it when your socks that around your ankle where it's supposed to go?
I call them bugle tops.
Yep.
When you start reaching out, having to pull your sock. Oh yeah.
I can't stand that. And there's nothing worse than walking, especially if you're tracking a deer.
That's right.
And it down in your rubber boot, it slides.
That's right. Then your boots start rubbing on your ankles, and then it just makes for an ill day.
It turns you south, so to speak.
Real quick.
Well, I thought I'd break the news to you this on Will Smith. He's denying all rumors. I didn't even know there was a rumor until this morning. But the rumor was out that Will may not be a straight guy. Can I say it that way? That he may have had, he says there's absolutely no truth to this of him being caught with another man. Not true, he says. Not happening. Wanted to put your mind at ease there.
I'll rest much better now.
I know. It's off your mind now.
That's right.
Although he can't man up to his wife, and that's the problem with a lot of things, Greg. You got to stand up to a few things. And his wife, that whole situation is bad. It's just bad.
Yeah, but now you're getting into a whole nother, there's a difference in standing up and then standing up to your wife. I mean, you got to live there, Scotty Ray.
I understand that. But she basically told him, I'm going to get a boyfriend. There ain't nothing you can do about it. And she did it. There's a time to stand up, Greg.
Yeah. I gotta say, you better do something about it.
And I don't know if you're updated on that whole thing. When he done the slap, they ain't even lived together for like 7 years. Yeah, because she went and got a boyfriend.
Well, that's kind of like what Barney used to say. You got to nip it
in the bud. Well, I stayed married. Oh, and I wanted to give some advice. I mean, you never know who some people are, but I got to know here.
That's right.
If your wife wants to leave you, she's gonna leave you. Going and taking her car battery out where she can't leave you that exact moment is not going to change the situation later. You're going to go to work, and she's going to get a ride and still leave you. I felt that I should pass that information along this morning.
Yeah. But that goes, again, I mean, he obviously was going to miss her. I know some people that would go probably crank their car up for her.
That's what would go through my head. You need some gas money? Here.
You done got wading in real deep this morning, real early.
But that was passed along to me last night. Some of the things that happened during the middle of the night that make you, Well, yeah, that did happen. Look, I couldn't help but notice as Greg walked in that he was toting a box. And when you tote a box, it's kind of important.
Yes.
What you got?
I have you some homemade banana pudding cookies from Miss Kay Gallion, and they are fine.
Now, it's called what now?
Banana pudding cookies.
Have you ever had one?
Absolutely. I've had more than one, as you can tell.
Wait a minute. Let's look at this. This is called a banana pudding cookie. I ain't never heard of one.
Oh, just you can smell the bananas.
Greg.
They fine, ain't they?
That truly is like banana pudding.
Exactly. In a cookie.
I ain't never.
I had a few on the way up here this morning.
I may not do anything else today.
I don't have any crumbs on my new shirt.
Really?
Are they good?
Yeah.
I'm told you.
We need to share this recipe. It's probably a family recipe, though, isn't it?
It's probably hidden in a vault.
But, man, I certainly appreciate that. We're going to mix that with coffee. Wow.
It makes your day start better.
It does. I have never in my life. That is a first for me. Does it have wafers in it?
I don't know.
But it sure tasted.
I'm sure they're healthy, too.
Get you some of these, folks. It's good stuff there as we look at that. Have you been paying attention as I look at a couple more of these national stories that are happening? New York, the mayor there, Eric Adams, there's been a lot of talk and there's been a lot of rage with people in his office lately. He's admitting now that he has helped get approval for a Turkish consulate, getting it approved.
A what?
Turkish consulate, to where they could move to the United States and set up a little council over there. And he goes, it's just being a politician. His administration is getting looked at huge here.
Well, when you said Turkish, I thought something to do with Thanksgiving.
No,
Thanksgiving.
It's that little country over there that wants to come over here and stay here. That's in a lot of folks.
But it'd be different if they would come over here and adapt to our way of doing things.
But they don't want to do that.
They want to bring their way, and then they want to. Never mind, that's another story.
Well, see, you're on the right track.
I'm going to be nice.
I hope so. Did you realize yesterday was King Charles' birthday? They had a big bash. It lasted until midnight last night.
They pretty well have a bash every day over there for something, don't they?
And the king, it's more tradition, I guess. They really have no power, do they? They just waste taxpayers' money.
I think that's just for show. They wear the robes and the crowns and drink with their pinky out and all that.
And then you've been knighted? We might need to get knighted before this is over.
I got hit with a stick one time.
Your grandma will do that for you, won't they?
She didn't call me a knight, though.
Oh, Megyn Kelly is speaking. She's a pretty girl. And her claim to fame, I guess, would be the question that she asked Trump. That's how she got to be known. And it did get her a contract with NBC for a little while from Fox News when she asked him about, did you make these derogatory remarks about women? He goes, no, just Rosie O'Donnell. I love that.
And that's questionable there.
It is.
I mean, her, gender.
Megyn. You're right. Megyn Kelly has stepped up, and she's calling the governor of California. What's it, Newsom? Is that his name, Newsom?
I don't know.
She's telling him he doesn't care about the children of California because he waited to clean up the streets until the president of China showed up to get rid of the homeless off the streets. They did clean it up for that. And she goes, you're not really a good governor because you haven't done this for the people of California. You don't care about children. You agree with that?
Well, yeah, but there's a certain, you may walk by something on your nightstand or on your living room table, but if you got company coming, you clean it up, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
he's cleaning up, that's for sure. That's what's going on there. All right, we'll just get into some local things as it all happens. Big thank you to Greg making his way in. What's Odie doing anyway? Odie
is conferencing this week on the Gulf Coast. Important emergency management stuff. I attended yesterday. It's a good conference, but I like to sleep in my bed.
Boy, ain't nothing like it, is it?
I like it.
We had a question there. I think the results will be coming out today, official results for District 2 supervisor race.
Right.
Karen wanted to know about that, and what I'm being told behind the scenes is Wayman is behind. Is what I'm told. Anywhere from 16 to 30 votes, and most likely will not go Wayman's way. Now, that is not certified yet, but we should know maybe today on that. We'll get with Donna Jill and find out, but that's what everything is leaning. We don't want to bust any bubbles, but I think Wayman is well aware of what's going on behind the scenes, and a winner will be soon announced with all of that. We'll be right back. Scotty Ray, Greg filling in for the big Odie today.
Big shoes to fill.
Oh, they're really big shoes.
They're clown shoes.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
And welcome back as we welcome you into Wednesday morning, halfway through the week. Boy, not long. I guess you got real good news yesterday as the governor broke some news.
Yeah, I think he decided as of today he was lifting the governor implemented burn ban for the state. Now, that doesn't mean if your county is already under a burn ban, which was passed by your board of supervisors and your county fire coordinator, you're still under a burn ban.
Well, I actually have them all here. Lauderdale County ends today and Clarke County is over today, so you're good to do your burning. As we go to Kemper County and places like that, let's pull this up, Greg. This is where look how many counties were under a burn ban.
And I agree it was needed. It was needed. But I will tell people, what decides this is fire numbers. If everyone will burn responsibly.
That's true.
And do what you're supposed to do. But if you don't want to see a burn ban put right back in place, keep the fire numbers down. Make sure your fire's out. Make sure you have a water source handy. Do it the right way. Keep the fire numbers down, even when it's super dry.
Yeah.
The reason why is our volunteers are there's just not as many as there used to be, and they get stressed out and overworked real quick. Mm-hmm. On top of that, you could go join a volunteer fire department. That would help too.
Well, they need to help, don't they?
And they do a wonderful job, and they get up every day and go to work.
Kemper County, you've got it until December the 4th. Winston County, your burn ban will expire also there on December the 4th. Just looking around a few of these counties. Noxubee County will end on the 25th of November, right there, right after Thanksgiving. As we go down, I'm just glancing here. What else we see? Lee County, December the 6th. Clarke ending today with Lauderdale County. Warren County, Vicksburg will end today also. And it goes on and on. You can find all of this here. I've got a link to it on our page, but ms.gov, and they will take you there to the burn ban page. Take a look at it yourself.
That's right.
But Tate took care of that. That's good that we can do. I got boxes in my shop that has been piling up for weeks upon weeks that need to be burned.
That's right.
So I got to get rid of that.
And leaves falling, limbs, debris. People like to get out and clean up their yard before Thanksgiving. And I get phone calls every day.
You're not going to eat one?
I might have had one or two already. So just
trying to be polite here.
That's right. My main thing is burn responsibly. If you don't want to see another burn ban, be careful. Do what you're supposed to do. And the biggest excuse we hear is we thought it was out.
Yeah, and it burns down a house.
Double check, stir it up, wet it, make sure it's out.
Because like if you burn paper, you'll know how
it's
that
going to float.
Yeah, and it sticks those middle, and then it lights back up.
And cardboard separates. Cardboard's going to come off in layers, and it'll float around.
Yeah.
Just remember, you wind, like today, I think you said we was going to have gusts of 25 mile an hour. Well, yeah, we had a little rain yesterday, but a 20-mile-an-hour wind, it'll dry back out in a matter of hours.
Yep.
It'll be just like it was. So, again, I encourage you. Rome wasn't built in a day. You ain't got to burn everything at one time. Be careful. Let's keep the fire numbers down. Let's help these volunteers, and my hat's off to these men and women. They have worked tirelessly for the last couple of months, day and night.
All hours of the night that I might want to add there. And we'll talk about some of the nighttime activities that happened in Meridian and surrounding counties also here in just a second. What happened yesterday in Meridian? Shots were fired, or at least one shot was fired. That's true. We had a shooting yesterday. And let me pull this up and show you this, Greg. You were out of town. This happened in the 100 block of 24th Street. And you go, well, where is that? This would be east of the BMW dealership, across from Dairy Queen, across the road east.
Oh, okay.
And we would find out that one person is deceased from this. Now, early preliminary reports are saying that this gentleman may have self-inflicted himself with this. That's the early reports on it. As I've spoken to the coroner, an autopsy is going to be performed on this, and we'll get more results and more knowledge of this before long. But that is what the situation was. I got bombarded with why there's so many cops over here, and that's what was going on. Suicide is not a good thing if that's what happened by any means. We certainly hate it. We typically don't bring up suicides in those manners, but when it's done like this and you're unaware of how it's done,
Right.
you have to cover it. It is a news story. So that's what went on yesterday. And as this develops, I'll tell you more as we get a little bit more information.
At the end of the day, someone is deceased and someone is grieving. How
That's
it
correct.
happened, somebody's hurt.
That's right. Now, I got a video that I'm not going to show,
Oh, really? That's encouraging.
but I watched the video like 4 to 5 times. I broke the news yesterday afternoon that we had a stabbing in Philadelphia. Well, it just happens to be on video. And let me tell you, there's a lot of folks that brought a gun to a knife fight.
Oh, really?
Yep. One female stabbed about 4 times. Another female was stabbed also as we go here. This is where all this would happen, Greg. This would be in the 100 block of St. Francis Drive. If you pull up to the 4-way stop in Philadelphia, coming into town.
By Deals?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, back up. Right there, the Neshoba General.
Oh, yeah, at the hospital by
Yeah.
the pizza place.
If you were to take a right and go 2 stop signs, that's where this would happen at. Now, again, I've got the video, but I'm not going to show that. Sometimes if you put the video up, it stirs more reaction.
Again, somebody's hurt.
Correct. But let me tell you what, it was, when I say a group fighting is a understatement. It was a whole bunch of folks fighting and pulling.
What time of the day was this?
This was broad daylight, 3 o'clock-ish.
Isn't
and-
that a little early for a gang fight?
It's kind of early. Did you know that you can actually be on crutches and carry a gun at the same time? I sat there and
It
watched it.
sure throws off your quick draw, though.
Oh, he had it now in his hand as he held it. In that, there's going to be more charges involved with this, folks. But I don't mess with women is what I learned out of that. The women were the ones throwing the punches. There was a lot of guys around. There was a lot of guns, but the women were the ones whooping up on each other.
Here's the answer to that.
Tell me,
Get a job.
you wouldn't have time to do that.
Exactly. If you'd have been at work, nobody would have cut you, probably.
And if I watched the video, she got hemmed up in in the back seat of a SUV, and that's where the actual cutting took place. Man alive, that was wild. And to help with all of this, we got a new officer that is heading over to Philadelphia to the PD. Jeff Lewis's boy done graduated.
He comes from good stock.
He does. Colton is going to be joining the Philadelphia Police Department. That's the latest there with Eric. Eric's a good guy. I don't know if everybody's ever met Eric before. The police chief bends over backwards to help us whenever we need information. I like Eric. He's a good guy, and he means to bring back peace throughout the city limits of Philadelphia. So,
Good deal. If you've not been to Philadelphia lately, it's growing.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, it's growing.
it is. Man, there's nothing worse than mowing your grass, and the next thing you hear is thunk.
Oh.
And I hate you weren't here to handle the call.
Well, it's kind of like a little boy used to say on Sesame Street, somebody's got to tell what happened. Anytime there's a gas leak, danger, away from, that's serious right there.
This would be right down from News Restaurant. Here's a News Restaurant. Right before you get back to Poplar Springs Drive, someone was mowing grass, and they struck a line with their lawnmower, and it busted the line, and gas was going out. The fire department was on scene.
But you got to wonder, don't they cut there all the, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Did the gas line just get uncovered? There's a lot of, was you bush hogging a vacant lot? Didn't know where the gas line was?
Good. I don't know those questions.
Anyhow, yeah.
Yeah, but it did happen. Whole bunch of folks showed up there to handle the situation. Several power.
They do an excellent job at responding. Atmos is usually,
Yeah.
they're on the spot now. We've had that happen. That happens more times than you would think.
I went to lunch with them at Queen City Truck Stop a week or so ago. Real nice folks.
Yes, sir.
And they mean to help.
And they really do. They have a really quick response time.
All right, 7:19, talking about time. We'll be right back. We're going to go to Newton, Mississippi to tell you a few things that went on over in Newton yesterday. It's always a topic in Newton.
There you go.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. Scotty Ray and Greg. As Odie has the morning off, I know some folks are wanting to know where Odie might be today.
Odie is probably still asleep.
You think?
More than likely.
Okay. All right. We should wake him up. Shouldn't sleep that late. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I wake up at the same time. I don't know if you get into that habit.
Yeah, sometimes. Well, less like last night. I was out a little late, but I enjoy sleeping. Hey, we ought to call the front desk and tell them there's a disturbance in his room.
That's a good idea. Get him woke up.
Kick the door in, if you will.
I like your plan. As I mentioned, Newton, Mississippi, there was an accident there yesterday afternoon, Greg. A collision, and, it had a person trapped there for a little while as the police and firefighters showed up at the scene. This would happen at West Tatum and South Main Street. It was an entrapment. The volunteer fire department took a little while to everybody to get there. I got, tons of calls on that of, where's everybody going?
And that is so scary when someone is trapped, and it seems like, time just
stands still.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear the siren coming, and the jaws is on that truck or whatever, and it's like slow motion. And I can only imagine being the one that's trapped in there waiting.
But they got them out. Everything's going to be fine on that. But, man, let me tell you, as you said, it's a scary thing. And I've been to a few accidents where that happened. And I've watched the demonstrations, what these guys do, these training things that you hear about. It's important that people know how to use that equipment.
That's right.
To when it comes to that split second of getting somebody out.
That's right. They make decisions. I think of the woman in the 18-wheeler last week that the dash was on her, and they had to get in the truck, and remove that.
Yeah, that could have been bad, a lot worse than that.
Yes, absolutely.
Bless her heart.
Absolutely.
You think about that. You're minding your own business, going down the interstate, going somewhere to drop a load. You could have been in your car.
And you meet a set of tires.
Yeah, coming at you from the other side of the 4-lane.
No vehicle connected to them, just a set of tires.
Whew, and it hit her windshield.
That's right.
Drove the cab in on her, and she was pinned.
That's what I try to tell. I tell my daughter and younger drivers. You can be doing everything right, and things can still go wrong. You got to pay attention to everything.
And I don't know if anybody will remember this, but I remember headed back home. I'd gotten off work at the radio station one evening. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was headed towards Scuba, Mississippi. I hadn't quite made it to Eddie Owl's house.
All right.
Up ahead of me, I could see the smoke coming from Bo Campbell's 74 Chevrolet pickup truck. Bo was kind of like Fred Sanford of Scuba. He collected and sold scrap left and right.
And patched on trucks.
Yep, and as I could see his spare tire come out of the back of his truck, and here it come, boogie there. And I changed lanes 4 to 5 times.
Like playing pinball?
Yeah. But I did miss Bo Campbell's spare tire. You ever had one come out from underneath the truck?
Yes.
That little thing that holds that you have to wind down, one of mine broke one time, fell out from underneath the truck.
No.
It will happen. No one, thank goodness, Greg, on this, everybody was safe, but someone lost everything they had. So I bring up this picture. If you live in the Newton area, the 300 block of Gentry Road, they're going to need a little help. Let me show you here what happened yesterday. This is the scene of what firefighters responded to. Absolutely, the entire house is gone now.
And that is so sad.
It is.
And don't get me wrong, there's not a good time for this to happen. But I remember the old folks saying, especially this time of the year. You know, it's getting cold weather. The holidays is right around the corner. I mean, that's heartbreaking. I mean, that's just heartbreaking.
Now, and again, I'm not sure. I know that a lady put on there it was her parents' home, a grandparents' home, and I don't know anything more than that. But if you know the family in that area, if y'all could help them out, because it is that time of year to where any little thing helps out. Get you back on your feet. We also had a wreck in Jasper County. They had to send an ambulance from Newton County to help out. This would be on County Road 528 down in Jasper County. A pretty bad one there that they responded to yesterday afternoon.
So that happened there. Oh, I went by and had me a Chick-fil-A, met the girls. They're always so nice to me over there. You were out of town and had.
Did you have the pimento cheese sandwich?
I have not tried that. Is it good?
I've not gotten brave enough to try it, and I love pimento cheese, but I'm a creature of habit.
I am too.
I like my regular Chick-fil-A sandwich.
At number one.
If something's working, why fix it?
I'm with you on that. I don't change very often, but we no longer have a Best Buy. It's gone. We got half a sign that's already been put up. Look at this. This is what's coming to the Crossroads area there. Michael's is going to be the name of it.
Didn't we have one of those before?
Beats me. I hear it's a craft store. Now I don't do a lot of crafts, so I don't know.
Hey, you remember that? What was that store? Old America store?
Yeah, Old America.
Oh, me and my wife were dating and first married, and she would drag me there. And you talking about torture? That's torture, man.
But you went because you were newlywed.
Oh yeah, and just smiled and toted that stuff and pushed the buggy and oh man, I can still remember it. That's torture, dude. It's like if Bass Pro Shop had a opposite,
Yeah.
it would be there.
I do remember that. I hadn't thought of that store in forever.
Oh, it was huge, and it had a doodle flitchy to go on a whatchamacallit.
What's the whatchamacallit that's already up there that sells that stuff?
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. Angie loves that store. The only time I'm caught in there is when I'm trying to get her something.
I've never been in there.
You
And my
won't-
daughter keeps telling me, Dad, as much as you love Christmas, you've got to go check it out. But
I went and got her some little thingy-majiggy craft thing for our anniversary. And I got it home. I was so proud of myself. She looked at me and she goes, you know I got one of them. How would I? It's just, I can't do right. I try, but it never works out. Like, never buy your wife a pantsuit either, Greg. They don't seem to like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I no longer buy clothes, ever.
No.
Just, that's a no-no. There's no way to get that right. Beverly said she loved Old America also. Look, 514, Highway 45, you're going down through there. There was a big incident there yesterday. Talked to Barry White as him and Oscar and all the bunch were headed out there. Harold, that's who it was, Harold. They were headed toward the wreck. This is what we got as we go to Clarke County Hot Topics. Mustang with some issues.
Ooh, that's a pretty car.
Yeah, that's a different color, isn't it?
I like that color.
Yeah.
That orange.
It's got an issue or two on this side of it, though.
It might could get it cheap.
Yeah, you might could. A bargain. But the wreck happened yesterday afternoon there. 2 cars involved. It's going to be more and more that today we want you to be careful because the streets are absolutely slick.
It was all night long. I mean, it was accidents after accident after accident.
It sure was. And we got a few more of them to tell you about that went on overnight. Now, I don't know what was going on here, but I got stopped 3 times. I was street corner going to take pictures of an accident, and I had 3 people pull over and go, You need to go up the street here. Something's going on. And so I went up the street to see this. It was cops everywhere. But I never got a statement from anyone. They were searching for something.
That looks familiar. Where's
Right
that
off
at?
of 24th there, Old Town
Okay.
Pharmacy.
Okay.
And then this would be back behind there. I have no clue what was going on, but they were having a donut convention there in the parking lot and seeing who'd been eating their donuts, the best I could tell. So that went on yesterday. I don't have an explanation on that one. I got busy on something else. Something else happened, and I had to pull off that story and roll, but I had the picture, so I thought I'd share. Nothing quite like it, is it?
What is that?
Oh, we had a fender bender down by the, that's one of those intersections right there by the Temple Theater.
Oh, yeah.
This is,
There's been more and more on 8th Street here lately.
it has been.
Just see, I mean, they've had cars upside down
Yeah.
on 8th Street.
How does that happen?
Somebody's going too fast.
I was talking to Al out at Al's Garden Gift yesterday.
Right.
We've had more rollover accidents in the last 2 weeks than I can remember.
Highway 19 North, I think they had about 4 or 5 days in a row, they had a stretch going there.
They sure did.
And anytime you don't have rain for a long period, and then it first start, I'd rather get as Mama used to say, a gully washer. Let's go on and
Yeah.
let it rain and wash the pavement off than this slow drizzling rain. And let's give credit where credit's due. They've been paving a lot of roads.
Yep.
And that new pavement and that oil sheen on it, and when it first starts raining, I mean, it's slick.
Now that you bring that up, let's remind everybody about the catastrophe that you're fixing to get into on North Hill Street this morning. from State Boulevard up to the bowling alley. They're paving that area there, and traffic is atrocious.
And most people are like me, you're going to fuss. These roads are horrible. And then as you sit in traffic while they're paving, you throw a fit about them. So
It's human nature.
you got to find a happy medium somewhere now.
So if you can get a new route around that for a day or two till they get this taken care of there. And once they get to that 4-lane part, it'll be pretty good, and then it'll get bad again from Poplar Springs
But
Drive.
please be careful, because these men and women, they're in the road, they're working, and they're trying to pay attention, but every year, so many people get hurt on an accident scene or on a paving project. Please be mindful of those people. Get off your phone.
Well, you nationally, if you will look, there's a lot more than you realize of firefighters and emergency workers that are hit by cars.
I worked a wreck last night on the interstate, simply for lights. My chief, John Hollingsworth, called me, wondered if I could just come out and bring lights to try to get traffic to move over.
Yeah.
We had an 18-wheeler that had caught fire, and they were trying to clear it about 10:30, 11 o'clock, around the 164. And I went out and tried to just get people to move over. And you would think, used to, people seen blue lights and they were intimidated or respectful or whatever, and they'd slow down. And now I think they speed up.
You're right.
So just anytime, I mean, it is the law. Move over.
I was looking. I've got a picture of that of the truck actually off in the bushes there from last night. It pretty horrendous there. It caught on fire. The back wheels is what caught on fire, wasn't
right. Yeah, and it had I think a coil on it. That's one of the hardest things to maneuver, because you don't want it to come unwound.
Right.
They saved the truck itself, but
That's
the
it there.
trailer burnt, and it was a difficult recovery to try to get the trailer mobile to move it. And again, you see the ground there. It's raining, kind of drizzling, and traffic. 11 o'clock at night, there's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it is. People are trying to get somewhere by midnight, and
That's right.
well, oh well. We'll be right back. We're going back in time again. We're going to test old Greg's knowledge this morning of what happened on this day in history.
Short test.
Yes, it is. Test that smile. We'll be right back. Have you seen the selection of cars and trucks at Massey Supermart Auto Sales lately? How about a Grand Cherokee Jeep 4x4 Limited? They've got that in white and also gray. They have a like new 2021 Wrangler Unlimited 4x4. Or maybe your family needs room. Have you checked out the Ford Expedition lately? 1023 Highway 39 Bypass, Massey Supermart Auto Sales.
The low profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Have you heard? Broadmoor Wine and Spirits is under new management. Now, they're conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9 for your convenience. They have such a large selection of wine and spirits. That's mixed drinks, boxed wines, brands that you're familiar with. Our shelves are stocked. Come by and let us earn your business. That's Broadmoor Wine and Spirits, conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Greg, filling in for Odie this morning. Greg Chatham.
Big shoes to fill.
Aren't
Big
you-
clown shoes.
Aren't you an honorary member of Clarkdale?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Born and raised all my life.
Right there in Clarksdale.
That's right. That's right. My dad was born right there in 1925.
Same place. Y'all live in the
Yes,
same.
sir. On the same plot of property right there. 1925 is when he was born.
Greg didn't move far from home, y'all.
Nope. Everybody talks about how much better it is everywhere else. I don't want to go. No, I mean, I may fuss and I may not like something going on, but I am a home person. I love
I'm
where
with you
I
on
live.
that.
I love my county.
You ain't going nowhere, are you?
No. And if I do, I'll be back before dark.
Best way to do it.
That's right.
Look, I had almost forgotten about this guy, but this happened long before Judge Judy came into his existence. It was called the People's Court. Does anybody remember that? As we pull up here, Judge Wapner. Y'all remember him?
Yep.
The People's Court. I promise you, he was born on this date in 1919. I had forgotten about this guy even existing.
Well, Judge Judy kind of overshadowed. I mean,
Everybody.
She made a strong statement.
She was just very common sense and ruled that way.
But she didn't put up with no junk either. If you thought she was going to act a fool, it wasn't going to happen in her courtroom.
No, sir, Bob. Now, as we move to a little bit of country music, this guy was born on this day. Two songs that people remember now. It's hard to beat the song "Roses for Mama."
Yeah.
He said, "Just hand them to me, and I'll take them there myself."
Right.
And if you've never listened to "Roses for Mama," it'll change your life. Truthfully, good stuff.
And I heard Wolf Creek Pass yesterday. That's
Wolf
when
Creek Pass?
he lights that cigar and the fire falls off into the cuff of his pants, and they had a load of chickens.
Said
Needless
Earl.
to say, they ended up in the feed store downtown with all those Rhode Island Reds. That's quality music.
It is.
That tells a story.
Wolf Creek Pass, but you'll probably remember this because there was this dude that stumbled out of it. He was a songwriter himself, and they made this great big movie, and they nicknamed him the Duck. Anybody remember Convoy?
Absolutely.
C.W. McCall, the guy that sang that on the Dark of the Moon, the 6th of June.
Yep.
Kenworth.
What was that? You're going to have to back off of that chicken. He's getting awful strong
Up here. 10, what's your 20 there? Mercy sakes.
That's right.
But that was that was 1976, if I'm not mistaken. The
Couldn't
song
have
went
been.
#1, and then the movie was just.
It couldn't have been that long ago. I thought it was like a year ago.
And I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody, but a duck can swim. No, if you hadn't seen the movie, you don't get it. We'll leave that alone. I don't know how he become a star. I'll be honest with you. There were some people that liked it, I guess. But Mary Tyler Moore had this show, and she had this grumpy old dude that worked in the newsroom with her. He would be known as Ed Asner. Was also born on this day. It just wasn't my type of show.
No. What else did he play on?
He had Lou Grant.
That's
his
it.
own-
That's what I was trying. Lou Grant. That's what I was trying to think of.
And I didn't like it either. It
Nah,
it wasn't my.
wasn't.
Wasn't her theme song "She's Gonna Make It" or something in that Mary Tyler Moore?
I can honestly say we had 2 channels, and I changed it when that came on.
Yeah. It wasn't my kind of favorite there. 1956, it would be in theaters tonight, and the lines would be long, Greg. I mean, forever.
Anything for Elvis.
Women would be fainting, as a matter of fact.
And they still do for Elvis.
Whew. Love Me Tender debuted. Love Me Tender. That was really a good show. That and Flamin' Star may have been one of his most serious movies that he ever done.
Right.
Gail Williams says Mary Tyler Moore was the best. And believe it or not, Mary Tyler Moore owned a country music label at one time.
Really?
Yeah, Judy Rodman was on the label. I don't know if you remember her or not.
No.
Oh, yes, you do. If I played you
And
the
I
song,
I like country music, but that just didn't.
yeah, you know it. Until I Met You was probably one of her biggest songs that she had. Yeah. All right, let's go back to 1969. There's one man that stands out above all in country music.
You got to take your hat off when the Mighty Merle comes on. I mean, that's.
It is. Merle Haggard had a #1 song today, and it was called "Okie from Muskogee."
Absolutely. And that's probably, honestly, I think we discussed this before. If I had to pick one country music star, my all-time absolute favorite, if I was on an island, I couldn't listen to
were at
nothing
lunch
else,
one day talking about this.
It would be Merle Haggard. I mean, I love George, Willie, Waylon, all that, but Merle Haggard is
He just had the voice and really spoke for America. If you're running
fighting
down
side of me.
yeah,
Baby. That's right.
branded man, boy, you just lived through what he did.
I mean, everything he ever, there's, about any artist, you can say, well, I really don't care for that song. I think he could have done a Kraft cheese commercial and I would have been listening to it.
Yeah, but you go back to 1969, what was going on in America? We had a bunch of hippies.
Yo.
I never adapted to the flower child movement.
No.
I know there's some of you that did, but I didn't. And Merle was kind of in our thing of we don't smoke marijuana and we ain't wearing no sandals around here.
And if you don't love it, leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my big thing today. If things are so bad, go somewhere else.
Yeah. They got planes leaving every day.
Exactly.
Let's go back to 1951. This woman, she's pretty. I hadn't seen her in a while, but the last movie that I watch every year, every year. It's Cousin Eddie's over.
We watched that. Watched it last week. I mean, that is one of the greatest movies ever.
How do you pronounce that last name? Beverly D'Angelo? Is that how you say it?
D'Angelo.
Yeah, she made quite the impression there on that show.
She made an impression on Wayne Newton, if you remember.
She
And the
sure
other
did.
one,
Yeah.
Wayne Newton went crazy for
He was
her.
wanting to swear away from her husband.
That's right.
Wayne Newton. Those were some of the funniest things with Cousin Eddie that you will ever watch. Sit back and watch those. You got to watch that come Christmas time.
That's just tradition.
It is. 1975, one of my heroes, and I remember the first time I heard those licks on that guitar. Dum, dum, dum. And I said, what is this? And he said, are you sure Hank done it this way? Were you standing there back in 48? Oh.
Absolutely. Definitely one in my top 5. Hank Williams Jr. and Waylon. Oh, man. That's
And Junior would redo this song a little bit later on. Are you sure Hank done it this way? And what was going on? Waylon showed up to Nashville and he done things a little bit different. And they kept telling Waylon, you can't do this.
You're not going to make it. You don't fit in. Yeah.
And he goes, are you sure Hank done it this way?
That's right.
And he ended up writing a song about it.
Well, moving in with Cash was probably not a smart dude. But,
That's probably
you know,
right.
but
Waylon Jennings, back in the day. 1975, this guy would write the song. Now, he had a huge hit with it, but it would become a anthem once Willie got his hands on it and Waylon.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Mamas? What do mamas, what do they need to do?
Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
Went number one back in 75 there as Ed Bruce released it. And again, he was the original writer of the
I
song.
was trying to think of another really popular song by him.
You're the best break this old heart ever had.
Yeah.
My first taste of Texas.
That's
Had
it.
blue eyes and golden hair.
Yep. That was the early 80s?
Yep.
Late 70s, early 80s?
Which proves you don't have to have looks to make it back then. Him and John Connolly were just normal looking people.
Hey, rose-colored glasses. Oh, man.
Straighten Miss Emily's picture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, backside of oh, yeah.
I skipped work last Monday to drink this month's rent.
That's right. Gene Watson, another one. And Gene Watson, I think they said he's 80 and he's still doing
is.
He's trying to catch Willie.
My Farewell Party. The list goes on of hits there.
yeah.
But I have to say, out of all my Gene Watson songs, and there's some of you are going, I don't know what you two are talking about. There's a vast majority that do. Of when music was music. But my all-time Gene Watson song would have to go back to When We Were Down to Nothing, Nothing Sure Looked Good on You. Whew. Just Alan Jackson re-recorded that, and it's just magical when it's redone.
Was that Love in a Hot Afternoon?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's music, people.
A street vendor cry.
Broaden your horizons. I'm telling you, whatever you do nowadays, Google something, pull it up.
Gene Watson, most people go, oh, what are y'all talking? He would be the guy that you remember from 14 Karat Mine. I still recall the morning that I met you, standing in front of Wilson's Five and Dime.
That sawmill dollar, wasn't it?
Yep. He spent $7 sawmill dollars on a bracelet just to satisfy her 14 Karat Mine. That's all about hooking up with a woman you can't afford.
Living above your means.
There you are. 1980, this would be the first, and this was controversy in the 80s as people were trying to move over to country music that weren't country artists. This was a folk singer. But she did get a hit out of this, and she would later do more songs. But her song that made it to Urban Cowboy, if you'll remember, was Could I Have This Dance for the Rest of My Life? And Murray went number one with this in country music.
Isn't that about the same time frame that Charlie Rich set John Denver's award on fire?
About 7 years. Yeah, he just couldn't handle it. CMA Awards.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah, they tried to throw that off, but at the end of the day, Charlie Rich was hiring a Georgia Pine. He was really, really high.
Yeah.
And he couldn't accept the fact that
John Denver had won, what was it, male vocalist or entertainer of the year. So he just sat there. Again, it's out there. Google it. It's funny stuff.
Yeah, it did. And John Denver had no idea because he was joining via satellite.
And that was a new thing. That was the latest and greatest.
Because Elvis had done it with the Hawaii concert.
Right.
Man, oh man, oh man. I have never watched this. I've walked in and Angie's had this on every time that it comes on television. And I just can't seem to watch it. And I'll ask stupid questions like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of you ladies, I just made mad because Still Magnolia's debuted on this day back in '89. And that is like, women love it for whatever reason. I don't get it.
that movie and Sweet Home Alabama. And there's
Now, I like Sweet Home Alabama.
2 or 3 of those movies that, yeah.
Chick flicks is what they're actually called. And chicks dig it, as Chris Cagle would say. I don't know if you remember 1993.
I just can't say his last name.
Joey Buttafuoco. I don't know how I remembered that, because maybe it was in the news every day. He was sentenced to 6 months for statutory rape of Amy Fisher. Man, what a hairdo he had back then.
He's trying to look like Conway, I think.
Hello, darling. Joey, you just hadn't heard that in quite some time there.
Oh, that's good music.
Now, as we go back on this to 1994, this song set in Nashville for years. Everybody would look at it and go, ooh, that's a good song, but I ain't recording that. I'll make somebody mad. Well, one
He stepped on some toes, didn't he?
He did. Bob McDill wrote this song, and it was a slap in the face to people who had migrated over that had been selling rock and roll stuff for years. It was called Gone Country. Look at them boots. Alan Jackson did it when nobody else would. #1 hit, as it turned out. They released it on this day. Alan is kind of like the man.
Absolutely. Hey, now that's when TV was TV.
Anybody remember in the 70s when we had those 3 channels that Greg's talking about? You had your choice. On Friday night, it was Lawrence Welk, a 1, a 2, and a 3. It would get better on Saturday night because
Hee-haw.
we would get hee-haw.
Room, despair, and agony on me.
Whoa!
Deep, dark depression, excessive misery.
I love that.
Oh, it was corny. The skits were great. It was just a good time.
And it had the hee-haw honeys. Why we don't have hee-haw honeys here, I don't know.
Because you're going to offend somebody.
Oh, would I?
They ain't even as sure who's honey and who's the bee no more.
That's true. Roy Clark would pass away on this date back in 2018. And truthfully, the only song that I know of that Roy Clark had a huge hit with was Thank God in Greyhound, She's Gone.
Yeah. And he was an awesome musician.
Yes.
He could play anything. But it's kind of like, I can remember my daddy watching and saying, he does real good till he opens his mouth.
Yeah, he don't need to sing.
He just couldn't
Did you
sing.
see the episode of the Beverly Hillbillies that he was on there?
Cousin Roy.
Cousin Roy.
Yeah.
He was up there to get Jethro to sign a deal for him. 2017, this old boy would be named the sexiest man alive, and you saw him in Meridian at least 2 or 3 times. I brought him once. He would be here a couple times, and he was named sexiest man alive.
Can't say I've ever seen him.
Yeah, you hadn't?
Nope.
He's a good old boy. He's just 10 foot tall.
He's just too young.
He's tall. Old Red.
Oh, yeah.
He's good at heart there. Like him a lot there. That's kind of a few things that happened on this day in history there as we go back and look at a few things. We're coming back with more local events and things that have gone on in your neighborhood that, well, you need to know about. We'll be right back to fill you in. Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
Call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
And welcome back. We were reminiscing about hee-haw and the people that you remember. What were you telling me about Alabama?
Yeah, the first time, you know, the people that really made it in the music industry, the first time I seen them would be on Hee Haw.
Yeah, that was their introduction.
A young group of, you know, Alabama. I remember my daddy, of course, may rest in peace, but, oh, they need a haircut, they need to shave, you know, but it was a young group. Alabama,
hippies.
Reba, a lot of young people that got their start on shows like that.
I can remember Conway, and it was real controversy when Conway went on there and sang the boom, boom, boom,
No.
where he touched those forbidden places. Boom, boom, boom.
I think what's controversial then to what is there any controversy now?
None.
I mean, you can do that. There's no shame.
There is none. It isn't. And that was, and you know, back when Loretta done the Peel, That was like
Oh,
major.
yeah, they was ready to fry her.
They wouldn't play it on radio stations.
Well, think about Ward and June had separate beds.
Yeah,
Ricky and Lucy.
Ricky. Yeah.
And now, well, it's
Anything
scary.
goes.
Yeah, Victoria ain't got no secrets.
No, she don't. None whatsoever. Whew. You mentioned being out last night. Let's look at this. This was. There's more to the story than I know at this point.
Right.
But there was a car wreck last night.
Right.
BMW, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the present time, when I first found out about this, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it was a vehicle, so I used a truck. But as we go here to show this picture, we had an accident on I-59. This would be a mile marker 145
Right.
near a bridge.
Right. It came in 2 or 3 different ways. Again, it's just dark. It's drizzling rain. The first call said had ran off of a bridge, upside down, in traffic. Anyhow, I think what I do know is when they got there was no one in the car. The car did not have a tag on it.
Greg, could this have been borrowed?
Probably without permission. And I don't know that. Again, old fella said we just funning, but
Yeah.
more than likely, yeah, there's nobody there, so they took off running.
I even got a message that somebody said that they had seen somebody pull up to the scene and they jumped into a car and fled the scene before the popo got there.
That's right. But you have to be real careful in a situation like that because anybody that's ever been upside down in a car, you ain't gonna stay in the car if you can. You're
No,
gonna get out.
that's correct.
And we have had cases where people would have a head injury or something. They'd get out of a vehicle, they're disoriented, they'd liable to walk off in the woods or whatever. But usually they run if it's a stolen vehicle or alcohol's involved or whatever.
That's right. And we're thinking it was borrowed. So if you're missing your BMW, you might want to go down and identify it today at the scrapyard. Just saying out loud. Just getting right to it there. Let's see what else went on as we look at 8th Street. This has been a big, there's 2 places that they're working on. Near Auto Supply.
What's that, 40?
This one here is 45th. Here, the first picture that we've got. They're working on a gas line there, and I'm also told right down the road near O'Reilly that they're going to be working on a new one. I got late yesterday of a gas leak. So if you've gone through there and smelled some gas, that's what's been going on. They've been working to repair all this stuff.
Now, did we just pave that?
Yes, sir, we sure did.
Okay. No comment.
Okay, yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
You remember, what was it, a water leak right after it got paved?
Well, I had one on 22nd Avenue.
Sure did. Right there at the pain
Of course,
clinic.
again, you don't know when something's going to rupture. You don't know when something's going to leak. It can happen.
We have to send out a big howdy and congratulations as we go to Newton County. They have already announced who's going to be the new superintendent taking over.
Next year.
Yes, sir. And congratulations goes out to Ms. Brooke Sibley. She's been named superintendent starting July 1 of 24. We couldn't be more proud for her. And I think she's been working as the assistant superintendent. She's going to take over and it won't be any bumps. And we're proud for her.
Congratulations.
Absolutely there. Let's see. Robin said she screamed with excitement. I cried like it was Elvis on stage. That's a good line. I like that. What else has gone on over the last 24? We got some congratulations. This was sent in, and I meant to do it yesterday and hadn't had a chance. We have to say congratulations to Clarkdale, the Pee Wee Super Bowl champs. They done good there.
Congratulations, boys.
Yeah, we got some more here we need to say. Southeast Tiger rookies and Southeast Tiger midget teams. Now, I hope I said that right. That's what was sent in.
That's what it says.
These boys won the Youth Football Super Bowl. Congratulations on their big win there. That's Tackmore Stadium. And also, we had, let's see here. I've already done that one there on Poplar Springs Drive. Yep. And here's the other one that I wanted to mention. This is another group of young men that won there. Ranked Neshoba Tenements. Is that how you say that? Or is that supposed to be termites?
You skip that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
So,
But they won something.
That's correct there. So congratulations on that out at ECCC. See. I see. Congratulations to all of those. And if you've got a winner, pass it along to us. We like to show those. I know there's been a lot of cheerleaders that's won in competition and band
competitions here lately.
and we don't ever want to overlook it because this is accomplishments.
That's right.
Good morning from Newton County. James Sullivan, good morning to you there. Let's see. We had a St. Jude employee killed in front of his wife and 2-year-old son during a robbery.
That's sad.
Now, I'm telling you, if y'all go to Memphis for any reason, I mentioned this morning before you come in, of the FedEx truck stops at a red light in Memphis. Stops. 40 people rush the truck and steal it clean. Emptied the back of it.
You could break that up with one fella and a pistol, and y'all be, oh, that's cold blood. No, you ain't got to shoot but one or two. The rest of them will get the point.
They will stop. But this is becoming more and more increasingly across our nation.
Yep.
Amazon, as they deliver to your house, they're being attacked and robbed in there. It was a lady that I watched the video there from home cameras. She got out, took a package. She had 2 packages, dropped it at 2 houses. By the time she turned around and looked at her truck, it was full of about 40 to 50 people stealing everything. It's not ending. I just don't know where all of this stops. We got more on the way as we bring you your morning. We're getting close to our time out, but we got more to talk about, Greg.
We just have to talk faster.
Okay, it's coming. We'll be right back. If it's crossed your mind about a new tractor, visit my friends at Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 here in Collinsville. They got any style, any size that you're looking for. And right now, you can take advantage of getting a new tractor, a trailer, and a bush hog, all for $31,000, 0% interest for 84 months. Yeah, 0% for 84 months. Also, a great service department to work on any tractor that you have. From bush hogs, disc, and tillers, see it all at Freeman Tractor, Highway 494 in Collinsville. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Habo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Greg, who's been filling in for poor Odie, who's out today.
Yeah, he's busy today.
Bless his heart.
I want to give a shout out to, who is that? Great-grandsons playing football for West Lauderdale, Wyatt and Ray Spence.
From Miss Winnie.
And they are champions.
There you go. We appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Now, one day this week, because this is in trial, we've talked about Nancy Pelosi's husband being in trial this week of the guy that broke into their house. Again, the number 3 political figure in the United States, security out the wazoo. You can't get there because, well, they're Secret Service agents. That's a powerful person. But someone manages to get in the house in their underwear, and a hammer is involved and some pizza. You got the explanations for that?
You didn't warn me about that one.
Yeah, that's what's going on in court right now.
They got past the Secret Service with a hammer and pizza, and they're naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing going on here, folks.
No, nothing to see. Keep moving.
But we got a similar story just like that as we go to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue this morning. We're talking the White House. Now, I hear tell, I've never been there, that there's more security and cameras and men on the roof and people that you got to go through and through. Right. And they check your pockets when you go in.
They check, yeah.
They like scan you.
You're X-rayed before you go in.
Like if you had surgery and there's a pin anywhere, they know about it.
They know it.
But for some reason, Greg, they can't seem to figure out who brought in cocaine. There it is right there, our first pictures. Yep, they have no idea who that could be.
I bet it was in the Sugar Bowl.
It had to have been.
It could have been in the Sugar Bowl.
Man, how does it feel to be the most tight security place in the world and you don't know who brought in the cocaine? It just mystifies me.
I still can't get over the underwear and the pizza and the hammer, but I'm sorry. I'm a little naive.
Yeah, me too. It just goes to prove that the higher up it goes, the more things that are hidden.
The more things disappear.
Yeah. A prime example is anyone in the past who was ever a president, if something went wrong, they were pardoned a few days later, and it was forgotten about. If they go after the president, what will they do to you? Think about that. Think about that. Now, whether you like O'Donnell or not, you agree with what he does, think about what I just said. They went after this man full force.
And won.
Yeah, they ain't over yet.
Yeah, no, they still, that poor man can't do anything.
But y'all think about that. If they'll go after him, what could be done to you? You ain't got the money that he can raise and donors and things. Well, you'll end up somewhere, and it won't be nice.
That's right.
Thought y'all might want to know that. But
Probably won't be pizza and underwear and hampers either.
No. I even saw the picture. Have you seen the picture?
Nope.
Both of them in their underwear, Greg.
I'm going to enjoy another cookie. I don't want to see the picture.
Has the Domino's guy ever showed up at your house in underwear? And you let him in?
No.
While you were wearing underwear.
I would be so proud of this security that I was, wait a minute, that the American people were paying that let the guy by with the pizza in his underwear with a hammer.
Oh, another thing. There's nothing like, she's trying to sue. The Georgia County Commissioner, her name is Felicia Franklin. They got pictures of her throwing up, and she's passed out on the street. She was the DA. She's sort of lost her job. Yeah, over that. And,
maybe she was showing them what not to do.
She's saying it ain't true, and she's going to sue and get her job back.
She could have had a virus.
She could have. It sure didn't look that way. There's so many things that go on. At the end of the day, whatever you do, sometimes you do wrong.
That's right.
Just admit it. And
That's right.
It's usually less harmful if you go ahead and own up to it.
It ain't a big deal till you make it one, usually.
This in prison, now, and we'll close with this story. Now, there's a lot of folks that gets into prison that deserve it.
Nope.
And the bad part about, and I don't know how to fix this, Greg, once you get to prison, I think you become a better gang member than you were when you go in, because prisons are filled with gangs and people, thugs that teach you how to craft your robbery or whatever skill you've got. A 22-year-old kid was getting ready to get out. He had served 12-month sentence. He was tied up, sexually assaulted, and beaten to death a week or so before he got out of prison. Now, how do you hide that for 2 days? I don't know.
Exactly.
Daniel Williams was his name, 22 years old. It happened in Alabama. And I'm telling you, if you watch any movie, even if you go back and watch The Shawshank Redemption,
that's right.
What they done to poor old Andy,
that's right.
That goes on in prison.
That's right.
As many cameras as there are, it looks like all this could be stopped in some shape, form, or way.
Well, not only that, I think young people need to be shown they need to go tour. You know, if you on first offense, let's take a bus up to Parchman and say, hey, do you want to live here?
It's a good point.
Because I don't know anybody that's ever been and said, man, I can't wait to go back.
You know, as a kid, I know that they used to do tours of the local jails. I don't know if they still do that or not.
They need to understand what can happen, and this ain't funny. I don't care how tough you think you are. You're going to change when you hear them doors locked.
That's right. You know, if you remember the Shame Shaw, if I'm saying it right. Shawshank. They bet cigarettes as to who would cry first.
That's right.
And that happens. I probably would whine like a baby. That is not the place for me. But
there's an easy way to avoid it.
Don't go.
Yeah. Do what you're supposed to do.
What happened to, and I'm a firm believer in, you know, they talked about old Joe out in Texas for quite some time.
I liked him.
I do too. But if you were to grow your own food and do things like that instead of being in a weightlifting program all day long, I think it would have more of an effect. This is my 2 cents.
Thank you.
Greg, I'm out of time. So are you.
Well, we want to tell everyone to have a good day. Be careful on these roads, as I think we still may get a little rain.
We are.
Be very careful. Remember, be patient. Smile at somebody. The holidays is coming up. Hustle and bustle. Love somebody. Smile at them. Tell them to have a good day. You might make a difference in their life.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.